Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining Lewis University's television network. Today is Wednesday, November 13, 2019. I'm Louis Chavez.
And I'm Mayette Lloyd.
And we begin with our top international and national stories. 2 cases of the age-old Black Death plague arose Tuesday in China. It's the second time the exact same disease that killed thousands in the 1300s has been detected in the region. In May, a Mongolian couple died from the bubonic plague after eating the raw kidney of a marmot, which is a local folk health remedy. The plague can infect people through flea bites and infected animals. The 2 recent patients from the Chinese province of Inner Mongolia were diagnosed with the pneumonic version of the disease and are now receiving treatment. Authorities have implemented preventative control measures.
An American submarine that went missing during World War II has been found at the bottom of the East China Sea. The USS Grayback and its 80 crew members went missing in 1944 when it was attacked by a Japanese aircraft. The Lost 52 project, whose aim is to locate lost U.S. submarines from World War II, found the submarine after realizing that the original Japanese mission logs of where the submarine had sunk has been mistranslated and were off by at least 100 miles. The families of the 80 crew members who were on board have been notified of its discovery.
St. Louis, Missouri got an unexpected light show on Monday night. A blazing meteor lit up the sky at around 11 p.m., with many people catching it on dash cam footage and motion sensor doorbells. Here's some footage of it. The meteor appeared to be a fireball, and then after a flash of light, it was gone. It's estimated that the trajectory was from east to west, ending its visible flight in North Carolina. 120 reports from 8 states say they spotted the shrieking meteor, but the majority were in Missouri.
The red tide is back on the southwest side of Florida. The toxic algae has returned and is working its way up the state's Gulf Coast. 32-year-old Naples resident Tim Thompson said, "If you have been here 20 or 30 years, red tide was an event that was around for a weekend or a week. Now we're looking at months." The red tide is caused by a species of algae called Carenia brevis. This type of algae releases neurotoxins that can harm wildlife and cause breathing problems in humans. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis created a red tide task force after last year's historically bad red tide that hit Florida's east, southwest, and northwest at the same time. The red tide usually begins offshore and is then carried to the shoreline, where warm, shallow waters and nutrients run off from farms, along with decomposing fish, provide the ideal environment for explosive algae growth.
9 students have died since the start of the semester at the University of Southern California. This is an unusually high rate, and officials have sent letters to students about the issue over the weekend. 3 of the 9 deaths have been since Friday, and no foul play was suspected in any of the cases. Suicide is suspected in at least 3 cases. The letters are a way to urge students to seek help if they need it. Coming up next, we'll take a look into leading local headlines.
And later, we have the latest Lewis news. Stay with us.
So, I got this new family, and I don't know what it is about this one, but she can't seem to put down that toy all day long. Tap, 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 tap. Oh, and she even talks to it. She talks to that more than she talks to him. What's up, bro? Nice shirt. Who's she talking to? Her mom? She talks to her mom a lot.
Being a dad can be tough.
No. What do you mean she's not coming?
When's the fairy princess coming?
Any minute now.
But when you're willing to do anything...
It is I, Cruz Zinkerbell. Okay, time for cake.
It's always worth it.
I know it's really you, Guru. I'm just pretending for the other kids.
The smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life. Take time to be a dad today. Call 877-4DAD-411 or visit fatherhood.gov.
Maybe he's really focused.
Hey, Michael. Michael. Maybe he likes spinning the wheels.
Maybe he just loves trucks.
Maybe he's just being a boy.
Preoccupation with objects is one early sign of autism. Learn the others today. The sooner it's diagnosed, the better.
Here's your check. Oh, you got it. You know, since I got rid of my car, I really enjoy walking.
Okay. Got it.
Getting pulled over for buzz driving could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates.
Oh, you're home early.
You live with your mom?
That'll set your game back a few years. Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
The Greater Chicago Food is planning to change operations as they hope to focus on home deliveries to help out the elderly and people with disabilities by building a 40,000 square foot kitchen. It's estimated to be a $50 million project. The project hopes to deliver quality meals for people with cultural, medical, or dietary specifications with user-friendly packaging. It's expected to begin with 20 to 25 people on the new project with an expectancy for growth in the future. This new service will join other existing services such as Meals on Wheels. Funding will be provided by federal reimbursements and philanthropists. Summer of 2021 is the hopeful opening date.
The world's largest Starbucks is set to open in Chicago on Friday at 9 a.m. The Starbucks Reserve Roastery Chicago is located in a 4-story building on Michigan Avenue that has over 43,000 square feet. Starbucks CEO Kevin Johnson is already in Chicago ahead of the grand opening and is promoting it on social media. The Chicago location is expected to be similar to the Starbucks Reserve Roastery and Toasting Room in Seattle, which opened in December of 2014. Starbucks says visitors will get a full sensory experience as they learn about the different ways the company brews and roasts its coffee.
Amazon's new 4-star store opens Wednesday at the Oak Brook Center. The new location will be taking over part of the old Sears that closed just this year. The store will feature popular items that have earned 4 stars or higher on Amazon. This is the first Amazon 4-star store in the Chicago area and the 7th one in the nation. The store will have digital price tags alongside every product that shows the Amazon Prime price, the list price, price member savings, average star rating, and total number of reviews the product has.
Lewis University was selected as one of the best colleges for veterans in the Regional Universities Midwest by the U.S. News and World Report. Lewis is ranked number 14 among institutions that participate in federal initiatives that help veterans and active duty service members pay for their degrees. Universities were judged on their ability to be a good fit for service members, military veterans, and their families. Lewis has received recognition as a military-friendly school from acclaimed publications and organizations. The university is partnered with programs that allow veterans to enroll in classes to engage in the community and promote networking, academics, and other professional opportunities. In other Lewis news, on this week's episode of Lewis Life, we sat down with Lewis University's sociology professor, Dr. Bunton, and Natalie Coleman, who is an entrepreneur working in Fairmont. Bunton and Coleman both have programs that work with Fairmont School. Bunton teaches social diversity and social justice, and her class chooses to do community service hours with the school. Coleman works with her after-school program called After the Peanut. Both programs work to educate others on the inequality that people may face and to help the children further their education. Check out the full episode on Lewis University's television network's YouTube channel.
When we return, we will have more Lewis news.
And later, we'll take a look at our 5-day forecast. Stay with us.
So, I got this new family, and I don't know what it is about this one, but she can't seem to put down that toy all day long. Tap, 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 tap. Oh, and she even talks to it. She talks to that more than she talks to him. What's up, bro? Nice shirt. Who's she talking to? Her mom? She talks to her mom a lot.
Being a dad can be tough.
No. What do you mean she's not coming?
When's the fairy princess coming?
Any minute now.
But when you're willing to do anything,
It is I, Cruz Zinkelbell. Okay, time for cake.
it's always worth it.
I know it's really you, Drew. I'm just pretending for the other kids.
The smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life. Take time to be a dad today. Call 877-4DAD-411 or visit fatherhood.gov.
Maybe he's really focused.
Hey, Michael. Michael. Maybe he likes spinning the wheels.
Maybe he just loves trucks.
Maybe he's just being a boy.
Preoccupation with objects is one early sign of autism. Learn the others today. The sooner it's diagnosed, the better.
Here's your check. Oh, you got it. You know, since I got rid of my car, I really enjoy walking.
Okay. Got it. No.
Getting pulled over for buzz driving could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates.
Oh, you're home early.
You live with your mom?
That'll set your game back a few years. Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
Lewis University's campus radio station, WLRA, finished out their annual Kill a DJ charity event Saturday. Here's Pat Sibilka with the story.
I have 8 other people in the studio that I'm not going to name.
Is it really 8?
Well, Lewis just left, so
Lewis
7.
just left, yeah.
All right. But Mary has some interesting news. Mersky, would you like to take it away?
Yeah. Since 1999, WLRA has hosted To Kill a DJ, an annual event which aims to raise money for the Advocate Family Assistance Fund. The fund provides financial assistance to the patient's families. This allows those families to receive important items such as prescriptions, overnight lodging, other food, and clothing.
So our radio DJs will have about 6-hour radio shows in which they're in charge of raising a minimum of $100. Many of them do more than that. Some people have gone on air for 76 hours. Some people team up with other people and do 100-some hours. And then throughout the week we have numerous events to kind of raise awareness for what we do. It's student run, so myself and then my staff members, we kind of plan out the events and then we execute them. And then the Intro to Radio kids, I believe there are 13 this year, all have radio shows, and they've been popping up to all the events that we've planned. I hope to get a lot more student involvement outside of the communications department, so we're hoping to bring in a bunch of other students. And then this year we actually have I think 3 people who aren't in the major who have radio shows, and they've been pretty active. So we're hoping to get a lot more people outside of the major active.
To supplement the event donations, WLRA has a GoFundMe page where additional donations can be made to help the families in need.
So the families are very appreciative. We've raised over $100,000 the past 18 years. Last year alone was $5,000. So I know they're very appreciative, and we hope to keep fundraising in the future.
For LUTN News, I'm Pat Sibilka.
Thanks, Pat, for that report.
Lewis University ranks in the top 10 of Illinois' higher education institutions whose graduates have the best record of finding employment. A job search website called Zippia.com uses data from the U.S. Department of Education's College Scorecard to identify the top colleges across the country that set students up best for the job market. Lewis University is ranked 9th in the top 10 in Illinois with an employment rate of 92.71%.
Lewis University's nursing department held a diversity event. Here's Reed with more on the event.
The Lewis University Nursing Department held a poverty simulation last Wednesday in the university dining room. Participants got to experience a simulated month in the shoes of someone below the poverty line.
We have our nursing students, our occupational therapy graduate students, health, social work and education students all together that are put into different roles of families and given scenarios that really help them identify with what the struggles of people living in poverty and day-to-day life might be.
The nursing department partnered with the Northern Illinois Food Bank to give participants this unique 2-hour experience.
Part of my role is to
raise awareness in our communities about the issue of hunger and the systemic kind of causes of hunger, which is poverty. And so the poverty stimulation is something that the food bank has offered as a opportunity through the community members for the last, 7 years.
For LUTN TV News, I'm Reed Poland.
Thank you, Reed, for that update.
LUTN reporter Connor Bolthouse also covered a story about the Travis couple who has lived in Fairmont for 74 years. Here's the story.
In the small town of Fairmont, a happy long life of marriage has been a journey of success for the Travises. Over the past 70 years, Della and Charles have made a beautiful family in this quaint town.
We lived in this area about 74 years in this area.
The Travises have a total of 5 children, 28 grandchildren, and 3 great-grandchildren.
Charles normally says he has a family on every block.
Over the 74 years the Travises have lived here in Fairmont, they've been witness to many changes. However, there's still some that they say would be nice to see. One of those major changes includes the roads of Fairmont.
And I remember it got so bad, the roads in here once, the roads just buckle all up and cars nothing could get through here.
Though Lockport has since sent services in to fix the roads, the streets of Fairmont still suffer from lack of maintenance.
Well, my thing is that we really need some improvement with our streets and curb and that stuff like that.
The roads and water system were major changes that needed to be acknowledged in the community at the time.
It was toilets, outside toilets, no water. We had wells, certain pumps at certain areas. We had to go pump water, but we didn't have our own at the time because we didn't have a sewers up in, we didn't have water and sewer at that time.
Joliet has since agreed to take over the water and sewer system for the Fairmont area.
It was so different. Things have changed for the better, I think, you know.
The Travises have yet to let these difficulties phase them, though, their marriage being a testament itself.
Advice I would give to anyone about marrying and staying together, I think you really have to have your mind made up that this is the person that you want and you want to live the rest of your life with. Honesty is very important, and communication with one another is very, very important. I wouldn't trade anything for living here, even though we don't have what most communities have. I think this was a good place to bring our children up.
For LUTN TV News, I'm Connor Bolthouse.
Thank you for that report, Connor.
You know, I don't know if you were listening to the radio station while the Tequila DJ was going on, but a certain someone had a fantastic show on Friday from 12 to 6. We were, that's me.
I
we were talking about, I don't know, I sat there with my friends, we talked about pretty much everything that happened in the news for like the past month.
Okay.
So I don't know, Tequila DJ, I'm glad WLRA does charity events like that.
Yeah.
And it sounds like the nursing department really does a lot too.
Yeah, I thought that was an absolutely amazing experience that the nursing department is giving the students. I think it's absolutely important to be hands-on.
Right.
Helps you to learn better. So Lewis, go Lewis.
Lewis University is really coming up. Well, coming up next, we have your full 5-day forecast. And later we'll have a look at sports. Stay tuned.
So, I got this new family, and I don't know what it is about this one, but she can't seem to put down that toy all day long. Tap, 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 tap. Oh, and she even talks to it. She talks to that more than she talks to him. What's up, bro? Nice shirt. Who's she talking to? Her mom? She talks to her mom a lot.
Being a dad can be tough.
No. What do you mean she's not coming?
When's the fairy princess coming?
Any minute now.
But when you're willing to do anything...
It is I, Cruz Zinkerbell. Okay, time for cake.
It's always worth it.
I know it's really you, Drew. I'm just pretending for the other kids.
The smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life. Take time to be a dad today. Call 877-4DAD-411 or visit fatherhood.gov.
Maybe he's really focused.
Hey, Michael. Maybe he likes spinning the wheels.
Maybe he just loves trucks.
Maybe he's just being a boy.
Preoccupation with objects is one early sign of autism. Learn the others today. The sooner it's diagnosed, the better.
Here's your check. Oh, you got it. You know, since I got rid of my car, I really enjoy walking.
Okay. Got it. No.
Getting pulled over for buzz driving could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates.
Oh, you're home early.
You live with your mom?
That'll set your game back a few years. Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
Welcome back to Lewis University's television network. I'm Carl Zahn with your weather. Right now in Romeoville, Illinois, we're looking at 25 degrees, but it feels like 15 because of that 15-mile-per-hour southwesterly wind. So it's definitely extremely cold outside. So I've just been staying inside all day. It's been great. For our local temperatures up in Madison, Wisconsin, we're looking at 23 degrees, 26 down in Kankakee, 25 in Chicago, 26 in Valparaiso, and up in Grand Rapids, we're looking at 23. For our national temperatures, 55 up in Seattle, 65, a little colder in Los Angeles than they might be used to. 46 in Dallas, 69 in Sarasota, and over in Boston, 29. For our national radar, it looks like we have some storms forming in the Houston, Dallas area down in Texas. There's some scattered snowstorms crossing Wisconsin and moving into Michigan, and a little bit of storms down on the western side of Chicago, maybe coming our way, so stay tuned. For our local radar today, we've maybe had a little bit of snow here and there, a lot of clouds in the sky, and there might be some snow coming up throughout the day, but right now it looks like we're in the clear. For our almanac for today, a high of 26 and a low of 9 is just actually a lot colder than what we're normally at, a high of 50 and a low of 34. That'd actually be nice. But for our record temperatures, a high of 73 in 1989 and a low of 6 in 1986. For our 5-day forecast, tomorrow we're looking at a 34-degree high with a low of 18, partly cloudy. Friday, it seems like it's going to be mostly sunny with a high of 38 and a low of 23. Saturday, those temperatures are going to stay consistent with a high of 38 and a low of 25, partly cloudy. And Sunday, some snow might be coming in our way with PM rain and snow showers, high of 38 and a low of 30. Remember to keep up with LUTN weather on Facebook and Twitter. Now back to Mayette at the desk.
All right, Carl, thank you so much for that update. Stay tuned for sports next.
So, I got this new family, and I don't know what it is about this one, but she can't seem to put down that toy all day long. Tap, 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 tap. Oh, and she even talks to it. She talks to that more than she talks to him. What's up, bro? Nice shirt. Who's she talking to? Her mom? She talks to her mom a lot.
Being a dad can be tough.
No. What do you mean she's not coming?
When's the fairy princess coming?
Any minute now.
But when you're willing to do anything,
It is I, Cruz Zinkerbell. Okay, time for cake.
it's always worth it.
I know it's really you, Drew. I'm just pretending for the other kids.
The smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life. Take time to be a dad today. Call 877-4DAD-411 or visit fatherhood.gov.
Maybe he's really focused.
Hey, Michael. Michael. Maybe he likes spinning the wheels.
Maybe he just loves trucks.
Maybe he's just being a boy.
Preoccupation with objects is one early sign of autism. Learn the others today. The sooner it's diagnosed, the better.
Here's your check. Oh, you got it. You know, since I got rid of my car, I really enjoy walking.
Okay. Got it. No.
Getting pulled over for buzz driving could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates.
Oh, you're home early.
You live with your mom?
That'll set your game back a few years. Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
Hello, I'm Jake Zanowski with your sports news. The Lewis University women's bowling team placed 8th over the weekend at the Warhawk Classic in Boulevard Lanes, finishing with a 6-7 record overall. The Flyers shot 4,438 in Baker play and 5,173 in traditional to earn a 7th seed in the tournament. The Flyers have a 32-19 record overall as they have concluded NCAA play for the semester. Friday, the Flyers bowled 5 Baker matches, winning against Aurora, Tusculum, and Marion, but lost to Central Missouri and Valparaiso. On Saturday, they also won 3-2 in traditional matches, but then on Sunday, they lost a very close one against Wisconsin Whitewater, 912-901. In the best of 7 play, they fell to both Tusculum and Upper Iowa. The Flyers are back on the lanes November 30th in their first USBC tournament of the year at the St. Clara Bowl in Fairview Heights, Illinois. The Flyers women's basketball team also came up with the win this past Sunday against Northern Michigan, 65-41, improving their record to 1-1 on the season. After their tough loss to begin the season against Michigan Tech, the Flyers rebounded as they hit 13 three-pointers in the game, shooting 52% from beyond the arc. The Flyers never lost the lead after just the first 2 minutes of play. The defense forced 19 turnovers in the contest and held the Wildcats to 31% shooting from the floor. The women's basketball team returns to action on Saturday as they take on their first away opponent, Northwood, at noon. The NFL's Week 10 was probably the craziest week we've ever seen this year, and it all started Sunday when the Kansas City Chiefs' game-winning field goal was blocked by the Tennessee Titans special teams and stunned the Kansas City Chiefs fans yet again with another improbable win. And the 1-7 Atlanta Falcons also shocked the 7-1 New Orleans Saints at the Superdome in a 26-9 rout, not allowing them to score even a touchdown in the game. The Panthers also came quite literally an inch away from tying the game against the Green Bay Packers, and Kirk Cousins also finally wins a big-time game against the Dallas Cowboys. Finally, the week ended Monday with an unbelievable overtime victory for the Seattle Seahawks over the then undefeated San Francisco 49ers with only 4 seconds remaining in overtime. It's only week 11 still in the NFL, and we are seeing a glimpse of the playoff drama that will soon unfold. And in briefs, in Monday night's football game in question between the 49ers and Seahawks, we also saw some complaints from the broadcast itself. The play-by-play announcer for the game, Joe Tessitore, received backlash due to his comment about 49ers kicker Chase McLaughlin, who in overtime missed a game-winning field goal way far out to his left. As a result, Tessitore said the moment, quote, the moment was too big for him. Despite this miss, McLaughlin made 3 other field goals in the game, with the last one coming at the end of regulation to tie the game. The Monday Night Football broadcast team has been getting some scrutiny over the past year, and it will be interesting to see where it goes from here. Longtime broadcaster and famous hockey personality Don Cherry was fired from Hockey Night in Canada on Monday evening for his remarks during his Coach's Corner segment. He suggested that Canadian immigrants benefit from the sacrifices of veterans, yet complained that he doesn't see a lot of those people wear remembrance poppies for the fallen. Cherry's segment has been in existence since 1982, but had its fair share of controversies over the years. And this moment isn't the first time Cherry has been the spotlight of debate. This firing leads to the end of a 30-plus year era for Cherry, well known throughout Canada and as a former NHL coach with the Boston Bruins. The Chicago Blackhawks this past Sunday also won a big matchup against their original 6 rival in the Toronto Maple Leafs, improving to a 6-7-4 record. After scoring 3 unanswered in the first period, the Maple Leafs would bring it back closer to get within 1. However, with 4 minutes and 34 seconds to go in the game, Brendan Saad would score the game winner to close that out in a 5-4 final. The Blackhawks' next matchup is going to be a fun one in Vegas tonight at 9 o'clock, so place your bets. And I'm Jake Znadowski with your sports. Now back to you guys at the desk.
Thank you for that update, Jake. That's it for today's news. Thank you for watching. As a reminder, you can always keep up with Lewis News on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and by visiting our YouTube channel. I'm Luis Chavez.
I'm Mayette Lloyd.
I'm Carl Zahn with weather.
Have a great night.